A playground with a waterfall plaza, a podcast listener in Germany, and a catcher who made history with a single word. No. Hey, good morning, Wake County. I'm Steve, your friend, your neighbor, and your host. Thanks for joining me today, where we skip the noise and start the day with something good. There are playgrounds, and then there's this. This past weekend, a few lucky families in Raleigh got a sneak peek at the brand new Gipson Play Plaza at Dix Park, a place 10 years in the making and already being called the largest and most imaginative adventure playground in the Southeast. 18.5 acres of wild ideas made real: climbing towers, skywalks, sand bowls, a sensory maze, even a waterfall grand plaza that doubles as event seating. Interactive water features shimmer like the ones at historic Yates Mill. There's a swing terrace with views of century-old oaks and the Raleigh skyline. And tucked in among 1,000 trees and 110,000 native plants, there's even a grab-and-go market in a building called the House of Many Porches. 9-year-old Susanna Scheffel tried it out for the first time, and her review? I like the slides. The slides are the most fun. That joy, that's the design goal. City leaders, donors, and community members all wanted the plaza to feel like a place of wonder and inclusion, where every Raleigh kid, or any kid, no matter what their zip code, could build memories that stick. And really, how can you argue with giving kids a little more time just to be kids? Life gets serious fast. And if you're not whooshing down a slide or swinging your heart out, you're probably paying bills or Googling, what's a 401k rollover mean? Look, I'll be honest. I tried swinging again last year. I'm 65, and I hadn't been on a swing in decades. It made me motion sick. I didn't see that coming. But I've still got all those, I can't believe we did that, memories from the playground when I was a kid. And if this park helps another generation collect their own, well, that's a gift worth celebrating. Stephen Bentley, director of Raleigh Parks, was practically beaming when he was quoted as saying, "There's no other park like it in the Southeast United States, and very few, probably, you can count them on one hand, in the entire United States." The Play Plaza was funded by a mix of public and private support, with Raleigh voters passing a parks bond in 2022, and millions more coming from donors, including $10 million from longtime residents Tom and Pat Gipson. That's the name on the gate, Gipson Play Plaza. But the spirit behind it, that goes back to a swing in upstate New York. Tom Gipson remembered it vividly when he was quoted as saying, "Hey, it was a gift for the community because everyone in our neighborhood was welcome to come and play on our swing," and they did. That's the same spirit we have with this facility. And it really shows. Sculptor Thomas Sayer turned a pair of 73-foot tall utility towers into massive sunflower sculptures called the Sunflower Power Poles. Other local artists like Mark Riegelman and Johnny Lee Chapman III added public art reflecting the park's history and environment. Even the layout invites curiosity. Architect Michael van Valkenburg's firm designed it to feel like discovery at every turn and to ensure accessibility for all. Ruffin Hall, president of the Dix Park Conservancy, was quoted as saying, "People should redefine what they mean when they think about a park. This represents an adventure experience and a connection to sustainability that people have never seen before." For kids like Susanna, it's the ultimate jungle gym. For families, it's a gathering place made to last generations. And for the folks like Tom Gipson, who raised 5 children in Raleigh and wanted to give back, It's a thank you card carved in wood, stone, and slides. And tomorrow we'll look at the other side of the story, the hopes, the concerns, and deeper conversations this park is sparking across Raleigh. So be sure to sign up for the podcast or visit tapyournews.com and sign up for the email reminders. All right, here's part 2 of a story from yesterday. Yesterday, I told you about how I picked my Wake County home from a set of online photos. Today, let's talk about what that choice gave me and what it's quietly given all of us. Sure, growth can be hard. Gone are the days when you could zip 10 miles into Raleigh to go to Best Buy at 4:30 p.m. on a weekday and still make it back for dinner. But let's be honest, most of the things we used to drive into Raleigh for, they're closer now. With growth, we've got more great restaurants around the corner, more grocery options, more doctors, more music, more movies, and more coffee shops. I mean, heck, we've got so many coffee shops now. It wouldn't be unexpected to park at the wrong one and sit there wondering why the counter staff didn't recognize me and then realize, oh, shoot, I meant to go to the one a bit further down the street. Oops. And every week it seems more good friends are arriving around here. Last week I was in line at the grocery store chatting with a dad and his young daughter in front of me. He looked at me and said, "Hey, are you from upstate New York?" And I smiled and said, "No, but you're welcome to the neighborhood." We shook hands right there between the cereal and the impulse gum rack. And that's Wake County for you. Folks show up curious and leave with a wave and a neighbor. Thanks to growth, we've got Amazon same-day delivery, groceries and dinner showing up with a couple taps on your phone. The convenience is real. And here's something I never expected when I started this little podcast. We have regular listeners tuning in from around the world, from Canada, the UK, Spain, even Germany. Maybe they're just curious, or maybe they're dreaming of a move, or maybe they're missing home, or maybe they're just amazed at what kind of community we've got here. And if you happen to be one of those international listeners, just note this. You'll be welcome here with open arms because that's just the kind of people we are here in Wake County. So I'm not saying growth isn't tough. It absolutely is. It's even a little melancholy sometimes, but maybe, just maybe, it wouldn't hurt to stop and look around. We've got that exceptional medical care, a strong, resilient infrastructure, neighbors who still wave and stand out front laughing and chatting, and a place we're lucky enough to call home. Growth will always bring change, but it also brings opportunity, connection, and progress. And maybe the real trick is not wishing it away, but finding a way to see the good side of growth and grow right alongside it. Because here's the truth. You're not going to stop it, so let's find a way to enjoy it. You ever see a moment that feels like it belongs in a movie, but it happened right around the corner? That's what folks witnessed recently at Ting Stadium, where Alexia George stepped onto the field, catcher's gear on, glove ready, and history firmly in her hands. She's the first woman to start in a Coastal Plain League game. That's right, first as in ever. Alexia, fresh from St. Elizabeth's University in New Jersey, and already stacking milestones like their baseball cards, was named Player of the Game as her Holly Springs Salamanders stomped the Carolina Pirates 11-1. When WRAL asked her how she managed to get this far, Alexia had a response that stopped me in my tracks. She said, "Because they told me no." That's grit boiled down to 5 words. It reminds me of a granddaughter who insisted on wearing cowboy boots to church because God likes confidence, she said. Alexia grew up hearing all the usual you can'ts. Can't beat a guy for a spot. Can't make it past high school. Can't. Well, she turned that no into a knuckleball catch nobody saw coming. She was the second female catcher in a college game, a gold medalist with the U.S. women's national team, and now the first CPL player to knock a hit, sign autographs, and break a gender barrier all in one night in Holly Springs. Walking into the dugout where no woman player has stood before takes courage. Staying there, proving you belong, and making 1,500 fans roar with joy? I think that takes heart. As Alexia said with a smile, any girl can do anything. And that's the kind of truth that echoes beyond the ball field. From the kids watching from the bleachers to the parents trying to teach them perseverance, you could feel it ripple through Wake County like a cheer that just wouldn't quit. Alexia's mom, Tracy, promises to be at every game, no matter what it takes. And if you ask me, that's one mighty team right there, one playing for something bigger than a scoreboard. So if you were lucky enough to be out there on that electric evening, you saw something special. And if you weren't, keep your eyes on Ting Stadium this summer because history has already stepped up to the plate. And by the looks of it, she's just getting warmed up. If you got any good news from around Wake County, something hopeful, human, or just plain worth smiling about, I'd love to hear it. Visit tapyournews.com and send it my way. You might just hear it right here next. And hey, if you like getting your daily dose of good news like this, it would truly be good news for me if you could take 30 seconds to drop by Apple Podcast and leave a 5-star review. It helps more folks find the show, and that means the world to me. And of course, it's free to subscribe. Hit the like button. Tell someone about it. Thanks for spending your morning with me. I'll see you back here tomorrow with more local good news and part 2 of that Dix Park story. Until then, take care. And remember, don't be a stranger because around here, aren't we all just friends? See ya.